Hi everybody, so we're going to be doing part 4 today of driving alone, and if you've not seen parts 1, 2 and 3, I'll put a link in the description which you can click on the links for the YouTube videos and we'll take it from there. I'm just going to go in this car park here. Looks fairly full, typical sort of car park, and you're thinking, oh god, as a new driver in your first car, you know, pop it in first gear. I've not got a camera on my feet because you know what your feet are up to. Got one on the back though, so you see what I'm doing when I'm reversing. I'm just taking my time. I'm not rushing, I'm just in first gear, going around looking for a space which looks like it's full, which is the sort of thing you're going to get in some places. Keeping in the middle, there's a space there, so there's a space there. So I'm going to swing it out to the left, to the right, and that's it. Pop it in, handbrake and reverse, and I'm not going to do the normal reverse into a space. I'm doing 45-degree one here if you wondered, so I can see where I need to go. Straighten my wheels up, get closer, looking around, and I'm going to swing it into the right now, full lock in, looking around, using my mirrors, shoulders and taking my time. And the thing is, this is what you've got to remember, is car parks are tight. If you can reverse in, get reversed in. It's easier to get out then. My sensor's bleeping away at the back, telling me I'm getting close to things. So I'm looking round, checking my mirrors. This is where your mirrors pay dividends in shoulders. There's no one in the cars, there's a red car behind me, and get myself straight. And using a bit of gas and clutch all the time. People wondered, first reverse gear, gas and clutch. And I'm looking around and getting in the bay. That'll do nicely. And I say to anyone, if you can reverse into the space, then reverse in, because it's going to be a lot easier than getting out than it is to actually reverse out the space. So reverse into a space every time you can. And the space on the right ahead of me there with the red car, I didn't go for that one because it's actually parked right next to the line, making it difficult for us to get in. Because you might be able to get in, but you might not open the door, either you or the passenger at that point, because it's parked right on the line. A bit silly of them really. But reversing into a space is the right thing to do. But if you're not great at reversing, then you might have to drive in, which is fine, we'll do that in a second. And we'll have a drive round. So I'm moving on. So I'm in first gear, brake on, clutch lowered, taking my time getting out, going past the bays and a big turn, checking my right mirror, because that's where I want to check, I want to hit things, and follow it round. And as I'm going round here, there's another space there. But as I'm looking across, that back end of that car, that van's on it. Now, there's a space on the right here to drive into. Awkward, isn't it? Very awkward. I'm going to just see what it's like before I carry on. So his front tyre is right next to the line. I'm not even going to attempt, it's just going to be too much messing around. And that's what you got to say, pick an easy one. On the left there's a red Mini. I'm going to go nice and wide to drive into it. And I'm bringing it round. I'm not going to get in first time. I'm going nice and wide deliberately. Looking round, there's a car pulled up behind her. And this is the thing, you can't rush. Getting the angles right to drive in. And going towards the curb. I'm not going to mount the curb, I don't want to hit the curb and damage my tyres. I'm giving myself space from the Mini. Driving in slowly. And that's a forward into it. And the thing is, when you're reversing or going or driving in, don't try and feel like you've got to get in first time in these busy car parks, because there's not a lot of space and you're never going to get in. But what you've got to start saying to yourself is, do the shunts. So shunting, I did then, I didn't get in, so I went backwards and forwards. Take your time, check over your shoulders, check your mirrors, expect anyone doing something silly and you'll be fine. I'm going to reverse out, just a bit harder getting out. I'm going to have to reverse out in a straight line. I'm not going to try and turn the wheels, otherwise I'm going to mount the curb on the right. So I'm reversing out, it's a little bit harder, bit of gas, bit of clutch to get up the hill. Checking my time to reverse out. I'm not rushing. Getting out forward. And then moving on. So that's sort of small car park that you're going to get into. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go to a large car park like Tesco's or Asda's and just talk about what sort of things that you want to do when you first go in there. So let's get over to these big car parks. So we can see ahead of us we've got a Tesco's, and this is a typical sort of thing you're going to get. You feel like you've got to park close to the entrance where everyone else parks, and if you're not very confident at parking, then that's the last thing you want to do. So let me just, Tesco's on the left, so if I do a left turn, give you an idea what it's like. There's a little roundabout there, so I'm just going to check what's going on. A little left turn. You can't go fast in these places, and you can see there's loads of cars, isn't there? Pop it in first gear for speed bump. There's not a lot of spaces, and the closer you get, the harder it becomes. So let's kind of go a bit further away, because the thing is, you want to make it as easy as you can. It just means you have to walk maybe 50 meters or so to get to the entrance, maybe a little bit longer, and obviously dodge all the pedestrians who are in their own little world. Let this guy do what he's got to do, that's fine, and then carry on, take me time. This is the thing about car park, there's a few spaces on the left and right, but I'm going to go a little bit further out because I want to make it easy on myself, so I'm going to go around here. Now all I'm doing is going a little bit further away. So the Tesco's is there, it's less than 50 metres away. I'm going to go around here, and the further away you go, the more space you got. And I could either go forward to the left or forward to the right, or if you're worried about your forward bay parking, what you could do, nice little trick for you here, I'm going to go to the right and I'm going to go forward and through into the next bay, line myself up and then drive in. So I'm in there. I don't have to kind of do too much line up. It's an easy one, isn't it? And if you're worried about, oh, someone's going to drive behind me and park in that space, then all you got to do then is pop it in reverse, once I get it in reverse that is, and reverse, making sure no one's nicking that space to the bay. Right? So that you can do your shopping and put the stuff in your boots without worrying about it. But obviously if someone parks in front of you, then you have to reverse out. So the advantage of driving through to the next bay means once you've got stuff in the car, you drive off. But if it's empty, you can drive forward. Nothing saying you can't do that. So it's just a short video on driving into spaces, car parking, and just letting you know that you don't have to kind of drive right next to the entrance. You don't have to try and do the tricky manoeuvres getting into spaces. Make it simple, do lots of shunts, make it easy on yourself. Take care, watch out for the final part of the Driving Alone series coming soon.